Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we're going to jump into everything that was unveiled to us for the brand new Beyond the Void episode 2 basically update. There's a whole ton of stuff in here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like the video, it helped you out. Subscribe if you feel that I have earned it. And then follow me over on Twitch, guys. This is a big announcement. I'm going to be giving away Serena live on Twitch on the 13th. I will be having a subathon over on Twitch, so I hope you guys follow me over there. If you're there, you will have a chance to win Serena. Followers will have a chance to win. Subscribers on Twitch will have an increased chance to win, but followers will still have a chance to win. So definitely follow me over on Twitch. I would love to see you guys over there. And then I'm also going to be having that subathon. So yeah, let's jump into the video. Sorry for the long-winded intro, but wanted to announce that giveaway. All right, so we're going to be going over everything coming in episode 2. We're going to be starting off with kind of things that they announced as far as changes that we're going to see, kind of like the big ones before we talk about Serena, transcendent abilities, weapons, skill trees, the new weapons, all that stuff. So ghost bullets, descendant balance, void erosion, and core farming. So ghost bullets have been an issue with fire rate. They said they're going to fix it. It was an issue with the anti-cheat, basically stopping the cheaters from firing as much as they wanted to and completely breaking the servers or something like that. Descendant balance. For descendant balance, they basically covered that they will be tuning underperforming descendants up to the level of Valby, Bunny, and Viessa, and they will be tuning Inez down to the level of Freyna. So we are still going to have kind of an OP descendant in Freyna, and I hope that they would maybe try to get all those descendants maybe up to Freyna's level a little bit lower. It really depends on how it feels, but I'm kind of excited to see how the tuning goes because this is the first real look we've seen at them trying to kind of giant tune everything to be really close together. So yeah, very excited for that. Tuning is going to be very, very important. This is not going to come right on the launch of Season 2, but this is going to be one of their first patches that comes a week after Season 2. So that is that. Void Erosion. So Void Erosion, this is a very big news. Void Erosion is getting a giant nerf from levels 1 to 29. So I'm imagining that a lot of people in here were able to do it from 1 to 25. So in reality, this is going to be really helpful for people that wanted to do 25 to 29. But basically all they said is they noticed that in their data, Wave 30 is the most completed one, and it actually is being completed more than 29, 28, 27, all those smaller ones, 21 and 25 and everything. So they're making it so everybody can get to 30 really easily, finish it up. That way they can start building and focus on their build for Wave 30. And they think it's going to be a more fluid gameplay system to kind of have everybody focusing on 30 with their builds rather than have anybody make builds for 129 and kind of have that be the stepping stones to get to 30 and start doing the most efficient grinding they can. So this is very big news for Void Erosion, and you will be able to farm cores a lot easier if this works out how I think it's going to. So yeah, that's core farming and Void Erosion. And then we'll jump into Serena. All right, let's jump into Serena. So Serena has a passive and 4 abilities, just like every other descendant. Who would have thought? Let's jump into the passive first. We'll jump into all the abilities one by one as we go down the list. So her passive, while you're in the air, you deal more damage, you have more accuracy, have less recoil. Point blank period, very simple passive. Obviously, as everybody knows, Serena is a flying gun descendant. So let's go into first ability number. So ability number 1. So the first ability is a little bit of skill damage and a frontal cone, kind of like Glay. It actually gives you unlimited ammo as well, or at least close to it. It all depends on your MP. This is a very cool looking ability, and again, it ties into that ammo kind of economy, which is really nice because obviously ammo or guns are very good right now. So it's very exciting to have another descendant that actually empowers guns. There's a ton more stuff that actually empowers guns with her kit. So we'll jump over to second ability. You can now fly. This ability makes it so you can basically fly. It reduces your gravity by 85%. You also have a 100% cooldown on your grapple, 100% reduction of cooldown on your grapple, and it has different effects per bullet type used. So basically, if you use this, you'll get a buff to your impact, special rounds, general rounds, MP recovery on crit, multi-hit, which is fantastic and being introduced. Then you've also got AoE, so like splash damage basically, which is really, really cool. I like the idea of splash damage, I like the idea of multi-hit, but also I like the idea of recovering MP on crit. That's probably going to be a very, very important one, so we'll take note of that because that might just be pretty insane for her. It's only on impact weapons, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's pretty sweet for the second ability. For the third ability, you dash to the air, or if you're midair, you reload your weapon. So it's actually quite nice to have this because basically, with Glay, you never have to reload your weapon. You're always at 0. You just stick with unlimited ammo. Well, with Serena, you literally just use this ability. You'll be able to refill your magazine and go right back to shooting. And it has a very low cooldown as well as a ton of stacks with it. So you can basically get this down really low and just spam it. Make sure you always have a full magazine. And it's going to be really fun to use. Obviously, mobility is really, really cool. So that is awesome. We'll jump into the fourth ability. We're doing these kind of fast because there's a ton of stuff to go over, guys. So I apologize. Don't forget to use timestamps if it is a bit too quick for you. I will have timestamps for kind of each of every concept or subject, or I'll try to at least. And then you've got the fourth ability. So the fourth ability is two things. On the ground, you buff other teammates, and then when you're in the air, you have a self buff that gives you massive splash damage multiplied by your max HP. So the range can also be increased on this splash damage. So basically, you're buffing your guns even more. You're giving yourself AoE splash damage if there wasn't already enough, and then you're also giving yourself a good amount of basically support kind of play style, right? So like you're going to be able to play support, or you can play for yourself, and you can decide what you want to do depending on if you're on the ground or in the air. And it's awesome that range can also be increased. Obviously, pretty sweet. 8 meters is pretty big. Having double that range, 16 meters, that's going to be pretty impressive as far as the splash damage. I want to see what the animations look like though, because I'm kind of worried. It doesn't seem like they're too intrusive, but I think that it's going to be quite pretty to look at. It looks like a very cool animation kit that we have for her. So that is going to be Serena, done pretty quickly. Again, apologize if it was too quick, but definitely run through there. You can kind of see the timestamps for Serena. We're going to jump into her Transcendent mods really quickly, and then we'll jump into the rest of the video. So for Serena's Transcendent mods, Transcendent number 1, this is going to be a change to her fourth ability. Instead of having that big buff, you're going to do a huge dolphin dive with a continuous damage pool that it leaves behind. You can see the footage, they probably used it. Basically, if you're in the air, you fall to the ground, you kind of bomb, kind of like just a bomb right out of the sky, and then you leave a pool down wherever you were close to and behind you where you came from. So it's a very decent amount of damage, and it also leaves that pool down. So it's very interesting. We have to wait and see as far as how much damage this is actually going to do, cooldowns and everything like that. It does look pretty cool from the gameplay we saw. However, I would like to see it myself and kind of see if it's going to be any good. Unfortunately, the second Transcendent mod does not seem very I guess it's interesting, but it doesn't seem very good. So basically, it makes a trampoline for your allies. I think it changes your third ability, I want to say, but it changes the ability to basically make it so you leave a little pool on the ground, and that becomes like a trampoline for allies. So that's kind of what I'm going to say for it for now until I really understand it more. Yeah, we're going to wait to see to what that feels like, but it looks like just by reading it, it's literally going to be a trampoline buff for allies whenever they get in it, which really doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. Hopefully it's not like a filler Transcendent mod, but we will try it out, and maybe it might be the best thing in the game. But yeah, that is going to be Serena's Transcendent mods, followed by everything that we went over with Serena. So we'll jump into the skill trees. So for the skill trees, they kind of unveiled the page. They kind of went over it in their live demo. Basically, skill trees are going to be pretty much a static object. So basically what I mean by that is you will have the same skill tree for every single Descendant. However, you will have 3 presets for every Descendant that you decide to level that skill tree on. So skill trees have 40 levels. You grind out those levels from level 1 to 40. You're going to earn points to spend. Each node costs typically 1 point. However, the purple and orange ones cost more, with the orange ones costing as much as 5 points. This is going to be a decent source of power, guys. There is a lot of values locked behind these. Shout out to Cooldown Collector from the Lambo chat. Basically, you can get upwards of skill bonus to Colossus, 192%. You can get upwards of 17% firearm critical hit damage in the purple nodes. You can get upwards of like 9% cooldown reduction as it stands based on what they hovered over. I would like to remind everybody, though, that they did say that these will probably not be final numbers for tuning, so take all those numbers with a grain of salt. The final tuning might look a little bit differently. However, I do know that it's going to be a very solid source of power. Without a doubt, you can get max MP, you can get cooldown, I believe you can get duration, you can get HP, a bunch of different stuff, which is really, really nice. Skill critical hit rate, critical hit damage, MP recovery, all that kind of stuff, which is really, really sweet, and I'm quite excited to dive into these because this is one of my favorite things that I'm looking forward to in the updates. But yeah, that pretty much does it for skill trees. I would like to mention they did talk about how it's going to take about 10 hours to max a skill tree on a Descendant. Keep in mind, you have to do that for every Descendant, right? You're not going to be able to level up one skill tree and then use it on every Descendant. You do have to use each skill tree for each Descendant. They did say that it would be cut down by about 45%, that 10 hours, with boosters and efficiency and all that stuff. So that means we can get it probably down to like 5 hours. So yeah. That's like, depending on who you are, that might be bad news or good news. I think it's totally fine. I think that's a little amount of time considering how much power we might gain from it. One thing I would also like to mention with skill trees is they are usable on both a normal Descendant and an ultimate Descendant. So if you have ultimate Sharon and normal Sharon, or if you're planning on, let's say SEMO ultimate comes out down the line, basically your normal SEMO skill tree that you level up will transfer over to your ultimate skill tree. So you do not have to level up separate skill trees for normal and ultimate descendants. You just have to level up different skill trees for different actual descendants. So very good system. Very excited for it. Like I said, probably the most excited that I am out of any bits of new content. So yeah, that is the skill tree. We're going to jump into the dog, some weapons, and everything else that they talked about. All right, and quickly, before we go over to the dog and everything else I want to talk about, I want to go into the component sets that were announced. So we've got brand new component sets, 4 to be exact: Unpredictable, Sprinting, Ascending, and Crusader. As you can see, I'm showing them up on screen. So for the Unpredictable, it's a lot. It's pretty random. It's very RNG. Not a fan. Doesn't look like it's very finished either because the 2 set is actually not even showing, just the 4 set. But it might be just the 4 set. I might actually be eating my words there. They may just want this one to be a 4 set. As far as the sprinting one, yeah, basically just Bunny. Bunny and anybody you want to have mobility on. So not just Bunny, just joking, guys. It's going to be anybody you kind of want to run very fast with and have a reduced grappling hook. This will be kind of insane paired with the grappling hook charge time reduction on the yellow cores for weapons. That is going to be the sprinting one there. And then Ascending Armory skill cost, which is really nice. And then when reloading in midair, provides supply bullets, field supplies plus 10%, and then intercept battle supplies plus 10%. I'm guessing that just means more ammo, and it's mainly going to be for Serena. Then we've got the Crusader Knight. Crusader Knight gives you chill resistance, and it also gives you a heavy armor buff that reduces your incoming damage by 21%. But if you get hit, you lose stacks. You get 5 stacks. If you run out of all of them, you lose that damage buff. And it also has a chance to remove your debuffs if you have any. So yeah, the component sets look very promising, very good. All stuff that I may consider using. It really depends on how good Slayer ends up being with the new skill tree and the diminishing returns and stuff. But very excited nonetheless. I really am a fan of components, and I hope to see these guys have a lot more power as we go on, especially into the update into April and May, where we get, basically core binders for components like they talked about. We're going to be able to core these guys. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see, but very excited nonetheless, and exciting that we're getting 4 of them. And the dog. So the dog, this is pretty good news. They decided to make it so the brand new dog, the Golden Retriever, instead of replacing the auto dismantle feature with the ammo pickup feature, they are actually totally scrapping that idea. They're making it so the new dog will auto dismantle everything, just like the Hagio sheepdog. There's 2 differences with the dog. There's 1 difference with the dog. So the main thing is going to be the old dog will give you an HP recovery modifier, and this dog is going to give you the ammo, obviously, recovery, right? So instead of auto dismantle being that differentiator, it's going to be the HP recovery from the sheepdog, and it's going to be ammo recovery from the new dog. So again, really good news. Both dogs are going to auto dismantle, and the new dog is only going to be used when you want ammo, and then old dog is going to be used when you want to have more HP recovery, which is quite nice. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see how much that actually ends up being, if it actually ends up being worth it. There will be probably a preference for me. I don't know about you guys, but I probably would like to have ammo more often than not, unless I'm playing Glay. If I'm not running Walk a Tightrope, I might pick that, the old dog, the old dog. But yeah, that's going to be the dog. Really good news for the dog. So we're going to jump into the weapons. All right, so for the weapons, we have quite a bit here. We have got 4 brand new weapons. I'm going to try to go over them pretty quickly. Again, so this video, it doesn't end up being too long, and I kind of make sure I respect your guys' time. So first thing is going to be Malevolent. So Malevolent is an AoE hand cannon. It's basically a gun that it shoots like a hand cannon. It is a hand cannon. However, when you shoot a bullet, it puts out what's called a bladed cog. Now, that bladed cog is basically turning this gun into an AoE hand cannon. We saw some gameplay footage of the gun itself in action, and we also saw some laboratory footage. It looks decent. It doesn't look half bad. The good news is it is fire, right? It's fire damage, so that means it does have an element attached to it, and it is going to be probably pretty fun to use. Just looking at how it shreds everything up, I think it's going to be pretty fun to use. It also looks kind of like a, I don't really know, I guess like a Nerf gun or some kind of like disc launcher, which is really cool. Obviously, it launches cogs, so I guess that it kind of is a disc launcher to a degree. Discs with jagged edges, you would say. But anyway, that's Malevolent. That is looking like a really fun gun to use. Next up, we've got Truly Deadly Arson. This is the fire beam rifle. I did snap a screenshot of what they showed on screen. However, it's not a lot of info. As you can see, there's not a lot of info. There's some interesting numbers and words, and I don't do math, and I can't read, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's going to be the Truly Deadly Arson. They did show a little bit of gameplay of it. You know, it looks like a beam rifle. It probably sounds like a beam rifle too. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. I'm hoping that this might synergize with Ultimate Blair quite well. Very excited for this. I love beam rifles. I know they're not a very good place as far as raw damage, but I do know that you also use Voltia and Clairvoyance a lot in the current meta. If you're using Lepic, obviously in Void Erosion 30, you can use the Clairvoyance to help boost your group's damage. You can also use the Voltia a lot to clear those shields because it's a they're very prevalent in the new content, obviously, with the RK shields and Voltia being able to one-shot those. So yeah, excited to see what this thing can do. But we'll jump into the sniper rifle next, the A-TAMS, or the ATAMS. This thing looks really interesting, and this might be a meta changer. Basically, it drains your MP when you aim down sight to give you a higher damage shot. So this just, if you just think of that, it sounds amazing on paper. It sounds fantastic. The shot he was able to get off was a 7 million damage shot, but the mob was only level around 100, I believe. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see for the ATAMs, but it looks very promising and sounds very cool. It also looks very cool as well. So pretty excited for this. I did not expect another sniper. Very glad we're getting one. But we're going to jump over to the Descending Judgment. The Descending Judgment is an assault rifle with the fire element. It basically works in the favor of Serena. So Serena gets to use this. It gives you multi-hit increase, plus 7.7. It gives you increased range, and it also gives you a nice amount of health recovery whenever you're basically in the midair, or excuse me, in midair and firing it. So really good for Serena. Probably not going to be good for pretty much anybody else, sadly, unless you're constantly jumping in the air. Maybe Keelan could find use from this if he's using his dash to get in the air. He'll be able to fire and be pretty accurate and get some multi-hits off. But can't really say for certain if anybody's going to be good other than Serena with this thing. This is kind of like her unique weapon. Don't know what their plans are in the future as far as giving unique weapons to Descendants, but I feel like this should literally be one of those weapons that you can only use with Serena, just because right now no other Descendant can really use it in the air. Obviously, we have grappling, we have jumping, I know, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to really make it good, because that means that you're just going to have to constantly be moving around in the air with other Descendants that are really hard to stay in the air with, compared to Serena, where you literally just press your second ability and you're in the air and you have 85% less gravity. So that's, yeah, very interesting. I love assault rifles, so I'm sad to see this is only going to be used with Serena, but hopefully maybe they change that, or maybe they, who knows, maybe it ends up being better on people. I don't mean to be too negative. I think it looks like a really cool gun, and I would love to use it more, but that is going to tie it up for the weapons. Let's jump into some of the mods, the skins, the future events, and we'll tie off the video. All right, so this is very big news. So multi-hit mods are coming. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the answers from the dev Q&A and everything that they've been kind of showing, but basically multi-hit mods are arriving. This is a very big cornerstone of looter shooter gameplay. I don't play Warframe, but it's mentioned a lot to me that this is what Warframe has a lot of, and multi-hit just sounds broken right off the rip. Multi-hit, so you hit something one time and it has a chance to hit it a second time, and I guess maybe a third time. Really, really cool. Honestly, I hope that there's some kind of multi-hit skill a bit for skills, because I think that would make skills insane, especially skills for like Sharon with her release cutting force and everything. But yeah, multi-hit is coming. They showed off some of the multi-hit mods. I captured one, so you guys can kind of take a look at it. It's not leveled up, but yeah, there's a ton of new ones coming, and I captured just one. You'll be able to see just how many are coming, and it's pretty exciting. This might be totally meta-defining, and I'm very excited to see what this brings to the game. Yeah, just can't wait to jump in on the 13th, really. I think this is going to be the #1 thing that changes the meta, is going to be multi-hit, just because guns are OP already. And I don't know about OP, but they're very, very strong already, and this is going to make them even more strong. But yeah, multi-hit is coming for the first Descendant. And next up, we're going to go over some of the future events that they basically showed on screen. So pretty big news. On the 13th of March, they're launching an event that gives you 1 crystallization catalyst every single day. This is absurd. This is going to last for 14 days, meaning that we're going to be able to get 1 crystallization catalyst times 14, which I don't do math, but I believe that's 14 crystallization catalysts. If I'm correct, let me know in the comments down below. If I'm incorrect, also let me know down in the comments below. Anyway, that's the first one that's coming with the 13th. We also have another one coming with the 13th. This is going to be for Ultimate Bunny. Guys, if you missed out on Ultimate Bunny for free in the past event, new players are going to be able to get Ultimate Bunny for logging into the game 14 days out of 3 months. That's right. You heard me right. if you log into the game between March 13th and June 12th 14 times, you're going to be able to get Ultimate Bunny for free. And if you don't want Ultimate Bunny, you're going to get 2 skins for Haley entirely free. It's like the maid outfit and the Academy outfit, just like Sharon, like we did earlier in the year. Very good event. Very good for new players. Ultimate Bunny is a fantastic Descendant for early game farming and honestly everything in the game. So yeah, very good for new players. If you're a new player, look out for this. This is honestly absurd and very exciting in general. Don't have to farm for Ultimate Bunny at all. Or maybe you do farm for Ultimate Bunny and you get these 2 new skins, because honestly, Ultimate Bunny is pretty easy to farm now if you get a Freyna or whatever. I mean, if you don't want to, you do whatever. But yeah, this is looking really exciting for brand new players. Next up, we've got the event that's going to be launching. This is going to be something that they talked about basically for transferring ultimates or normals into ultimates. So normal Descendants into ultimates. This will be a thing, guys. You're going to be able to transform your normal Descendants into ultimates. So all the catalysts that you use, the energy activator, you'll be able to transform. Now, that takes an item. That item is going to be pretty rare. It's only going to be obtainable from events. The good news is, before Ultimate Blair comes out, they are coming out with one of these events. So 2 weeks before Ultimate Blair comes out, they're going to be launching this event that gives you that item as well as a bunch of other stuff. And it's going to be available, 2 weeks before, all the way up to May 1st. So April the 3rd up to May 1st, which is really, really exciting. Obviously, you want to make sure to do this if you have Blair leveled at all, because this means we can just spend our time leveling up Blair if you haven't already. And when he comes out, you're going to be able to just instantly have full cats, which is going to be the first time we've been able to do that. It's going to be quite exciting because we'll be able to jump into builds right away and not have to level him up a whole ton. So yeah, very big events coming to the first Descendant, very exciting events. Definitely keep a lookout for these for posts from the devs, because these are some of the best events we've seen. They just keep getting better and better. Very, very excited for the events. Now, let's jump into the skins kind of to wrap everything up. I also wanted to briefly go over a couple things that I forgot about before we jump into the skins. So one is going to be, obviously, we're getting a brand new boss. With that new boss comes the free skins, just earnable. You're going to get those green tickets from the new boss. You're going to get a bunch of the same stuff that we're used to getting. With these tickets, obviously, you can get the Colossus toy as well. It's basically a reskin of Executioner. However, you have to pay real money for the Executioner skin, so this is a way to get that for free. And if you take the helmet off, it actually is a kind of cool skin. If you leave the helmet on, it kind of looks a little troll, kind of like a dunce cap, but nonetheless, very exciting. So I just briefly want to go over some of the new skins that they mentioned, guys. They've got skins for Ultimate Blair shown off. They've got a whole bunch of skins shown off for these kind of like this Academy set. They've got skins for Freyna. They've got skins for the brand new Descendant, and they actually also showed off the skin for Evolving Sharon, which is interesting. You would think they would go for somebody like Freyna with all the popularity of Freyna, but they went for Sharon. Sharon, still very cool, and it looks like it's going to be one that I'm going to get just because of how much I love like that cyborg aesthetic. It's looking really cool for Sharon. I'm very excited for this one. And yeah, a bunch of skins. I'll probably be throwing them up on screen as I talk about them. But yeah, the Ultimate Blair one specifically is probably one of my favorites that they unveiled. It's looking fantastic. They also showed like a corn skin concept off, which is just bonkers. It's corn, you know, it's a big lump with knobs. I don't know if you guys want to walk around as corn, a big lump with knobs, but it is what it is. And then you've got obviously the Secretary skin, the art that they showed off. Exciting stuff. Obviously they're going to try releasing more skins more and more. They said they want to do that pretty much like bi-weekly apparently, or like monthly, just like the content drops. So yeah, very exciting for skins. I definitely think my wallet might be bleeding after this launch, because I am a huge fan of cosmetics in games like these. It's what I spend most of the money on in any pay-to-progress game or any game with cosmetics. Definitely don't ask me about my League of Legends spending back in the day. But anyway, that is pretty much it for the skins. And it pretty much wraps up the video. I know I really tried to make this as short as I possibly could, guys. It was a 3-hour stream. I didn't even stick around for the Q&A. I did not have time, but very exciting nonetheless, guys. Super, super exciting. Again, I'm giving away Serena on the 13th. Follow me over on Twitch. I would love to see you guys over there. We're doing a subathon. I will most likely be sleeping on stream. Don't know how that's going to work yet logistically, but we'll figure it out. Like the video if it helped you out. Subscribe over on YouTube, or here, I guess. That's where I'm at, YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there on Twitch. I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you're at. Hope you're pumped for the brand new update. Let me know in the comments, actually. I forgot about that. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of all this info. Would love to hear from you. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Peace out. Goodbye.